face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful as you feel.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. There we go. I know I'm hidden behind some beautiful flowers, but I know you can see me and hear me. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Michelle LeMay. I'm on the Board of Trustees, and I'm one step closer to being a practitioner. And I'm also going to share everything that we've got going on today. The first being that it's the last Sunday, so it's birthday Sunday. So those of you who had a birthday in May, please stand. Yay, it was the same day even, Patrick. All right.
I'm standing for my grandson.
Oh, standing for your grandson.
Who was born this month.
All right, beautiful. Want to sing?
Sure.
All right, we're going to sing to you all. And many more. And please join us. We invite you to stay for cake afterwards. And then next Sunday, we've got lots going on. So I'm going to kind of just bullet point what we're going to have. But next Sunday, it's going to be our new member Sunday. So for those of you who have recently become members of CSL, we are going to acknowledge you. We're going to share some love with you. And if you're not sure what that means, you can see myself or Reverend Rita and Patrick after. And if you have signed, thank you. That was great. Sometimes it's improv up here. But if you have recently become a member, oh, actually, you want to hold on to your flowers. Yep. So for those of you who brought flowers, hold on to them. Jai was bringing these for folks to share who did not bring flowers, and we'll explain what's going to happen for our memorial service for that. Okay, so back to membership. If you have recently become a member and submitted a form, please see Reverend Rita so we can make sure we confirm that we're going to celebrate you next Sunday. And then directly after service, it's going to be Wrap with the Revs, which is our monthly get-together. Now, in our bookstore, we are super duper excited. Those of you who know Michael and Carrie, who used to be the music directors here, have just released their new CD. So yes, let's give it up to them because they watch all the time. So here we go. It's now available in the bookstore. So see Roseanne after service in the bookstore to get your copy. They'll go fast. We also have Reverend Rita's book, also newly published, and has been in centers all around the states. So you can get yours here and signed by Reverend Rita. Ooh, I know. And then on Wednesday evening, this month for our monthly meet and greet, it's going to be Louise Hay. I will be teaching about this beautiful metaphysician, all about her life and everything that she has brought to this world. And so we do have her book, You Can Heal Your Life, for sale if you want to get it prior to Wednesday. Again, see Roseanne for all of those. And then during the day on Wednesday, Anna Myers is going to be having her spiritual living circles from 3 to 4 up in Princeville. Anna, if you can raise your hand, she was one of the beautiful Malama Mamas that helped out today at the door. And then we are super excited in June. We have 2 very new and very different activities / events / classes / ways to become involved in the community and really just participate in your life. And one of the ways is by an improv class that some of you have been asking for that Reverend Rita is going to do 4 Tuesdays in a row. Now, it's only limited to 20 people, and there's already people signed up. So see out back there, we have an information table with the sign-up sheet. But it is for adults only, 18 and over. And come have fun with Reverend Rita, learn the art of improv and theater games, because it's playtime, and we all deserve time to play. Okay, so again, everybody hold on to your flowers. Those are for everybody and anybody. Okay. We have a beautiful pile of flowers that we'll be sharing. And then the second one in June that we're really excited about is Reverend Patrick. Yeah. He's going to be doing your rite of passage, claiming and celebrating your rite of passage with childlike wonder. And that's going to be for 2 Thursdays in June. So coming up, more will be revealed. And I'd like to introduce Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick.
Woo! Yay. Thank you, Michelle. What? Oh, that's fine. Okay.
We have so much going on today. There's like buzzing all over the room.
So I have to stand out here. Okay. So we'll explain this in a moment.
We've never had an altar here, by the way, at CSL Kauai. Many memories are coming back.
You know, I might as well just say that this is a tradition we have on Memorial Day every year, and we present a flower for someone who has transitioned, someone or someone's that you want to honor today. So we'll talk more about that in a minute.
And that's what these are for. If you haven't
brought a flower, there's all these extras. Thanks to all of us. Thank you, Jai, for bringing them, and whoever else brought them. Okay, so but right now, where's the peace candle? Okay.
We've been doing this for 5 years. If you're new here, this isn't our first day, by the way.
Go ahead, Patrick.
I'll do that while you.
All right. Oh my God, let's just take a deep breath.
Yes.
And anchor ourselves right here and right now. And all the joy and laughter is great. It's wonderful. And every Sunday we take a moment for peace. And this Sunday, I would like to honor all the men and women who have served in our armed forces. And that's what this day is really, truly about. And just take a moment for peace for those that have died and those that just have served and are still here with us. And just knowing that peace is, and just say a thank you to them from within. And so sharing this breath of peace together, this aloha, I know that it ripples out into the world. I give thanks for all those who have served us in so many ways, knowing that they have not served us in vain, that peace is, and peace is. And I anchor myself in that truth as we just affirm together, and so it is. All right.
Well, welcome again. There's plenty of seats around if people, there's plenty.
So here we are in a Center for Spiritual Living. And just in case you've never been in a Center for Spiritual Living before, and even if you have and you have thoughts about it, I just want to just say that we are not an airy-fairy philosophy. We are based in scientific truth. It is quantum physics. It is that idea that there's energy, and we're that energy. We call it divine energy. It's all powerful, all loving, and that we get to use that energy because it's the very essence of who we are. And the way that we use it is with our minds, not our brains, but our minds, which I call consciousness. And so in Centers for Spiritual Living, what we do is we work on our consciousness. We work on raising our consciousness so that we can live our lives from the highest place, because we know that there's a creative medium. We call it the law of our being, an energy force field that takes, people know it as the law of attraction. It takes what we impress upon it and creates from it in the world of form, in the material world, in the world of experience. So what better way to have the greatest experiences in life than to think from the higher place, no matter what's happening? So that's my Science of Mind lesson in a nutshell.
Very nice. And we're so in a nutshell, that means we all have the power. We all have the power, and all we have to do is use it. Is there some reason why we're afraid to go over? I'm not afraid.
I don't like standing behind there. You
It's
can
okay.
stand
I
there.
know. So anyway, who's here for the first time and asking yourself why? I know some.
We're not asking why. We're here for
You are. You are. You look wonderful, by the way. Anyone else? Raise your hand just to let. There's nothing you have to actually do. First time. First
back
time.
there.
There you go. Hey, hi, aloha, welcome home. So, if you're wondering what that was all about, we have some information on you that we would like to share. Oh, you have some on us, and we'd like to share some information before you. And without further ado, let's just let them all know what's going on here. Okay, you are magnificent. That's what we know about you, and welcome, welcome, welcome. But we know that about you, not just because other people told us, but because we know that about ourselves. And so shall we all share that together? Put your hand on your heart if you feel like it. I am magnificent. And then we're very excited. Behind us, we have Rob, who looks very official with the little things on his ears. And we have a wonderful live streaming that we do every single Sunday so that people that are not on Hawaii and Kauai and they wish they were, they're just sitting there envious. No, actually, they are actually joining us. So let's tell them who they are. You are magnificent. And Carrie and Michael, thank you for your CD. They'll be gone by the end of the day. Okay, so look to your left, look to your right. Let somebody know who they are. They are, let them know they're magnificent. Magnificent. You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Jack is magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Okay, so everyone get on your magnificent feet. We're having our opening song here. Woo! It's one of
Thank
those
you, Barbara Davis, for
Barbara
being
Davis
with
and
us
Louise.
today. And Louise.
It's one of those kind of days, Michelle. Woohoo!
We've all been together before, dancing and singing along the same shore. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more. We gather to share our love. We gather to share our love. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more. We send our love out to all the world. We send our love out to all the world. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more.
And we are indeed light. I have the biggest smile on my heart right now looking out at each and every one of you, knowing that it is God meeting God, that it is Spirit expressing Spirit through each and every one of us. And this is a cause to celebrate. Celebrate that power, that light that lives within as each and every one of us. And we don't just hold that light in, we are beacons of light, and it comes from within, and we let it go out from us, shining wherever we are in every step of the way. So we've come together as one today to celebrate, and then we will carry it out into the world to celebrate even more with this day of peace, this day of love, this moment of truth, this moment of expressing and declaring exactly who we are in every moment. And that is good, that is God, that is love, that is who I am, that is who each and every one of us is right here and right now. And with that, I am truly grateful. With that, I am truly celebratory with each and every one of you, as together as one in consciousness we say, and so it is.
We send our love out to all the world. We send our love out to all the world. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more. We've all been together before, dancing and singing along the same shore. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more.
Good morning again, everyone. For those who may have come after the announcements, my name is Michelle LeMay, and I'm going to be taking you into meditation. So we'll take just a couple of deep breaths together, settling into this moment, letting everything that came before now just drift away. And we invite you to keep your eyes open if that's comfortable, or to close them during this time of going within. I have a seed thought for you from Nelson Mandela. When you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. When you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. When you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. This light is already within, and it is God's light. And God's light is always here, for there is only one light, one God, one mind, one source, and one love that permeates everything, everywhere, all the time. And I know that this God's light is already within me. And I am knowing this for each and every one of us in this room, online, on island, on this planet, and in this universe, that this light is already here, already shining. And I am knowing that when we shine our lights, our lives change. And when our lives change, the world changes. And this shining our light happens in all aspects of our lives. This light shines onto harmonious relationships, into financial abundance, into beautiful creative expression. That is where our light shines the most, when we are exactly who we are. Our light just shines and shines and shines. For that is what God does. God shines, shines, and shines. And I'm grateful for this light. I am grateful for this knowingness and knowing that this light is already here and is meant to be shined. So as Patrick would say, have at it and let it shine. Let it shine. I release my word into this law that only says yes, a law that supports, loves, and moves life forward in this light. I release it and I get out of the way of how it unfolds, just knowing that our lights are already shining. And together we affirm it. And so it is.
I am that I am.
Our chant is in the program if you'd like to join us.
I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am.
Thank you. And you can stay up here because we're going to go right into it.
We have a lot of extra little goodies on the menu
But
today.
before we go on to this, I just want to take one moment, because we didn't do it at the beginning, to acknowledge Stephanie Starrett and Michelle LeMay.
Where's Stephanie?
Stand up, Stephanie.
Steph.
Who passed with flying colors yesterday their written licensing exam.
Yes.
They have one more step to take before they become licensed practitioners, but we're very proud of them. They just,
Yes. Even though it was only 4 years, we just absolutely love you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so this is the time we're going to do our annual memorial ceremony. And what that looks like is that we are just here to acknowledge individually anyone who has passed before us that we choose to. If you've brought a flower, that's great. If you haven't, Malia will be up here with the flowers. Malia, come on up. Malia is one of our licensed practitioners here. And she will help you get a flower so we don't stumble over that part. And then Roseanne, I'm going to give you the mic, and you can make sure people have a mic to say the name. And it's not a speech, guys. It's just it's just I honor my mother, Claire Andriello, who you know, that's it. All right. So yeah, you're going to have to be out there though, because they're not going. Well, I guess they could come back here.
No, actually.
No, I think they should do it out there. Yeah, it'll be easier. So the flow of traffic should come from down the middle aisle. And then you can disperse and go back to your seat that way. You could go that way, whichever's easier for you, but don't try to go back down the middle aisle because there'll be people lined up. So try to stay lined up and single line, okay? And
That's
then,
right. We'll give this a hoot and a holler and see how this all works.
Before I give, and Barbara will be playing gently in the background. And before we start, I want to read a poem. Some of you have already heard this poem. We do it at memorials sometimes, and I just love it. It's called Gone From My Sight. And I'm just going to read that because it's just good. I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads its white sails to the moving breeze and starts for the blue ocean. It is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of white cloud, just where the sea and the sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, "There she is. She's gone." Gone where? Gone from my sight, that is all. She is just as large in mast, hull, and spar as she was when she left my side, and she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just as the moment when someone says, "There, she is gone," there are other eyes watching her coming, and other voices ready to take up the glad shout, "Here she comes."
Nice. Okay.
So I just want to honor my mother, Bertha Adams, and my father, James Adams.
I want to honor my mother, Julia.
I'm going to say the names in my heart.
I want to honor my son, Larry.
I want to honor my childhood and lifelong best friend who just recently passed away, Linda.
I'd like to honor my dad, Don, and my little brother, Matt.
I would like to honor my husband, Christopher William May.
I would like to honor my brother, Juan.
I would like to honor my father, Guy, my mother, Joanna, and my brother, Mike.
I would like to honor my parents, Helen and Bob Weiss.
I would like to honor my Hawaiian mother, Angeline, my father, Lee, my best friend, Cindy, and that's enough for today.
I would like to honor my father, John, my mother, Betty, and my sister, Debbie.
I would like to honor my Hawaiian mother, Puna, my birth mother, Ruth, and my fathers, Ed and Bob.
I would like to honor my grandfathers, Charles Kretschmer and Curtis Colby.
I would like to honor my father, Humberto Blanco.
I honor my father-in-law, Umberto Blanco, and my father, Mervyn Bodillan.
Honoring my son, La'akea Sky Smith.
I honor my mother, Nelda, my great uncle, Walter, and my grandmother, Emily.
I honor my mother, Phyllis, my father, Dale, my grandfather, Barney.
I would like to honor my grandfather, Robert Smith, my auntie, Rosie Holcomb, and my cousin, Lamont Holcomb.
Aloha, I'd like to honor my grandfather who was in World War II, Papa, my grandmom, my whole family, and Christopher Passarella, who now serves at the Pentagon.
I'd like to remember and honor my parents, Arthur and Diane.
I honor my parents, all my ancestors, my old self that's passed away.
I'd like to honor all the names that may not be spoken.
I'd like to honor my father, Murray Levin, and my hard father, Waldo Roll.
I'd like to honor my husband in the Vietnamese War.
I'm honoring Joe and Kenny Watson.
I'd like to honor Kauai.
I'd like to honor my mother Rose, my father Peter, and my brother Luke.
I'd like to honor my mother, Christina, and my dad, Melanio.
I would like to honor all of those who have passed on that still live in my heart.
I would like to honor Mother Earth.
We are honoring all love beings that passed in love.
I'd like to honor my daughter, Sharon, my son, Byron Michael, my late husband, Austin, and my parents.
I'd like to honor my parents.
I say aloha and a hui ho to Joe Watson.
I'd like to honor my mother and my father, my great Unity teacher, Ernest Wilson, and my favorite dog, Fezziwig.
I'd like to honor my dad, George W. Kirkpatrick, and my late husband, Addison Whitmer. Thank you.
Friday was Poppy Day. In Flanders fields, the poppies grow among the crosses, row by row.
I'd like to honor the men that I have served with while I was in the military.
I honor my father, Abe, and his 4 siblings who loved and cared for little Abie.
And I'd like to honor all of my ancestors and relations and friends who provide my guidance every day.
I would like to honor my father, Bud, and my mother, Gertrude.
I honor my allies.
I'd like to honor my mom and dad, Hans and me, and Tiana, and my Hawaiian grandma, Donna Sue.
I would like to honor my parents, my brother, and all the loved ones that have passed on.
I'd like to honor my mother and father, Jerry and Donna, and my sister, Sandy.
I'd like to honor my late husband, Dante.
I'd like to honor my mom and my dad and all their siblings.
I'd like to honor my mother, Claire Andriello, who passed just recently, and I'd also like to honor my cat, Merlin.
I'd like to honor my grandparents and my cousin Marc-Antoine.
And I'd like to honor all of my family, especially my mom, Katie. And I'm also have to jump in on my Merlin there, who is gone from my sight at the moment. I love you, Merlin. Anyone else would like to come up? Yes. So taking this moment to just breathe, that beautiful gift that is given to each and every one of us, seen or unseen. And it is that breath of life. And there is an honoring that is happening right here, that glorious celebration of the time that we individually have had with each and every one of these beautiful, beautiful spiritual beings that have been mentioned here today in this ceremony. But what I know is that nothing is ever gone because of the oneness of who we are. And there is an energy, there is a spirit, there is something so unseen, and we call it mystery. I call it the miracle of living. And so we honor each and every person and honor all of those who have gone before. But most of all, I take this time to celebrate life and the living of it. So I know that the gift that each and every one of us gives to each of these people and our little animal furry friends is the gift of remembering with joy, remembering with gratitude, and remembering with the very love of our being, knowing that they are not gone, that they live in every cell, they live in every fiber of who and what we are experiencing here. So this is a welcoming home, not a goodbye party. So with that, I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. As we release it, we let it go. As together we say, as one. And so it is. Mahalo.
Let's just take a deep breath. Ooh. I felt really good. You can just really feel the continuity of life. It's never over. Life is. And I think as we go, we understand that more and more as we move through this journey called life, that we get to understand that more and more if we'll open up to it, right? So our message today is about that. It's about light. Our whole month has been about shining our light. And today it's particularly about the light within. Celebrating that light within ourselves. And many things came to my mind this week about that. And I was thinking about people that have had NEDs or near-death experiences. What are they called? Near-death experience. NDEs. I put NEDs, but they're NDEs. Excuse me. NEDs is something else. And I've never had one myself, but I know I've talked to people that have. And I remember this one lady told me that I used to work for. She had one when she was 2 years old, and she never was feared death after that. She remembered it from when she was 2 years old. And then we are all familiar with Anita Majoni, and I'm sure some of us here have had experiences of dying and coming back. And I'm understanding, Steve Jobs, when he was going over to the other realm, or whatever we want to call it, the next expression, the next journey, he was, all he could say was, wow, wow, wow. That's really a testimony. And I know I've seen my mother-in-law, when she passed. I wasn't with my own mother, but before my mother-in-law passed, she was always looking behind something. I don't know if anybody's ever had that experience. She was pulling the veil away, I guess, is what they call it. And she was looking, and she had all kinds of expressions on her face. Sometimes they weren't too good. But and then other times she would just light up. So I guess my thought in the whole thing was, and I think Arnita Majoni touched on this, is that we don't have to wait to go over to be to see the light and go into the light, that we can be in the light right now. And that's where I want to live my life from in the light right now. And what does that take? It just takes going within and letting it shine, like we've said all month, coming from within and stop reaching out to something else or someone else to be that light for you. There are times when we do need that, when we do need someone else to show us the light, but they're showing us the light that we are. That's what we do as a practitioners. We lead the person back to themselves. And I think what we find out, there's a song we played for the prac students yesterday, the interns, when they were taking their test, that says, in the end, it all comes back to me. That we're all these questions that we're posing, but that all the answers are within those within ourselves. I mean, we know this, but how many times, I mean, I think is it Brene Brown who says, are you a pollster? Like, do you go out and continually ask other people what you think, pollster, take a poll on it's Brene Brown, right, of what you should do. Like, do we do that? I don't do that anymore, because I used to do that a lot. Like, what do you think I should do about this? And then most of the time they're going to tell you what you're already thinking anyway, right? And then turn you away from what you really want to do, your really inner urge to go. So, so it's all there all the time. And this experience we've had, and I know that there's a lot of animal lovers in this congregation, so you can hold the space for what I'm going to say. And I know you've all experienced losing animals, or not all of you, but maybe you have. And I've lost animals in the past, but this particular animal that we don't know what happened to her has been a really tough one. It's been like tough. It's just been like, I want to bring her back. I can't treat for that. We did we did actually a practitioner panel yesterday, and we had to give them. This was one in LA. We did it via Zoom, and we gave one of the practitioner candidates the scenario of, I'm coming to you and asking you to bring my cat back. My cat's gone. My cat might have died. I want you to bring my cat back right now. You can pray, right? You can bring it back. And so, but we can't do that. I mean, we can't do something for somebody else. I remember the story when Jesus went and rose Lazarus, that story they tell. He didn't even want to do it at first. He was like, okay, if they want me to do a show, I'll do it. But we don't have control of other people or other beings. We don't. Remember the film we watched Friday night? It was like Bruce Almighty. It was like, you can take everything away but somebody's free will. You can't take somebody's free will. We all make choices all the time. We make choices. I believe we make choices to be here or to not be here. So to go back to Merlin, the only way I could deal with Merlin, our beautiful Merlin, was to go to that light within me and let it shine out on the experience and feel the pain of it. It doesn't mean that we lose the pain. I'm sure it lessens with time when we lose a loved one, that maybe it lessens with time. I don't know. I don't know. I still feel sadness sometimes about my own dad. I mean, it's less, but but we can shed light on it. We can come from within and you know what it takes? It takes faith and trust in the mystery that we don't necessarily know. There's a mystery to this whole thing that we can know the more faith and trust we have. But we have to have faith and trust in the mystery. And that's what I've done with this. I'm working on it still. I'm still processing, and I'm telling you about my process here. But I'm in the process, but I'm not falling on the floor. I wouldn't be able to talk to you about it. But so I'm in the process, because I know that the more I can shed light from within, the more that I can come from within, because there's this thing, when we turn to God, God turns to us. When we turn to the light, it turns to us. It's turned on. So the more I can stay in that place of wholeness and go really deep, like in there, and really work with it, and really acknowledge it, and really have faith and trust in the mystery, the more I am able to release this. And so my whole journey in life is to just, and I'm going to sing a song about it in a minute, is to go deeper and deeper into this source, into this light, into this power that has everything. It has everything we could ever want to know. We were telling, when the practitioner candidates yesterday were taking their test, and they're real, you're nervous, you have test anxiety maybe, and you think you don't know the answers. Well, you do know the answers. Their answers are there. They're in infinite intelligence. Ernest Holmes says, if you looked at the walls of time, it would be like a picture gallery, and everything's written there that ever was and ever will be written, because there is no time and space. Written along the hallways of time and space, there is everything we could ever know. But we have to go deep within to get it, not be a pollster. We have the answers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking a friend or something, sharing. But we do have the answers. So that's my message today. It's just about that light within, that source that's there for all of us in our times of trial, in our times of joy in all our times, and that it does not come from the outside, it comes from within, and the more we can acknowledge it and open up to it, the more it is. So I want to share this song by Daniel Namod with you. Thank you, Barbara, for playing it, and we'll do it. And get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. For here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the sweetest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. Let's breathe into that soul space. Aloha. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Luis.
Ooh. What can I say? So, have you been shining this month? Shining our light. Wow, what a month. I've been shining a lot of light. Turned 60, shining some light. We moved, shining some light. Shining some light. And I have to say that my dimmer went down a little bit with my little Merlin. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about her because because I just can't. But what I can do is I did look up those stages of grief. And what's interesting is we don't know that she's gone, but we know she's gone from sight. But there's always an inner feeling that you get. And I happen to know someone who actually does talk with animals, and we could probably find out that information. And Rita and I both said, you know, I like my fantasy much better. Whatever, I like the fantasy of knowing that I get to write the story of Merlin. And what a powerful name. So the stages are this, and I have experienced them, just so you'll know, and we experience them all the time, back and forth. And what I would love life to be, and I know you would join me in this, wouldn't it be nice to go through some stages? And then you hit acceptance, and then you go, wasn't that a journey? But it doesn't, it's like a traffic jam on the 405, man, because it's like going, you know, here's the ones: shock, what? Denial, bargaining, better known as begging. I have to let you know, I was raised Catholic, and this week, I remember looking out at the field where Merlin, we last seen her, and I was like so tempted to do this, man. I was bargaining, because I used to do that as a child. When I'd be worried about my mom, I would, you know, go, okay, if you bring her home, I'll be a priest, I'll do this, I'll never, you know. Well, I got close, but no collar. And then I saw that there's guilt. What could I have done? We do this in life. Anger, which then turns, which is fascinating to watch and experience. The anger turned to depression. Because you get angry and then you start going, no, I'm not really angry. And then the next thing you know, you're almost like in the land of morbidity. And you're like, so, and then you just kind of give up out of sheer exhaustion. And the final one is acceptance. And that sounds so freeing, doesn't it? But it's the one I really, really avoided the most. Because when I accepted it, I had to go the possibility that this friend of ours, this family member, Merlin, may not be coming back, and that's a different kind of acceptance. So off of Merlin for a moment, and back into our own lives. We experience death daily. Every time I decide to have a new thought, there's a process of grief that goes on. We're not just talking about the physical body. We're not just talking about it. And there's also one thing I learned is that there's one step, all the steps, right? It used to be 5, I end up with 7. I'm sure there's 13,000. But the one step that they left out was the one that got me the most, that I remembered the most of who I am. I am that power, that love, that no separation. Exactly. Get ready, my love. You know, I'm going to tell you something. You know, if it wasn't for my humor, I don't know what I would do with my life, because I would be a serious person, trust me. I love you, Barbara. That was perfect. So where was I? That step. And I said, I have to remember who I am. And it was a wonderful moment that Rita and I, we've had many moments, but over this, you know, wonderful time this last week and a half. And she said, do you think a lot of this might be incorporated with your mother, losing your mother and you never maybe mourned? And then she went, I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? Because the pain is still there. It doesn't matter what we're incorporating or what we're thinking about, or because it's always intertwined. But I did know one thing, that I have spirit that is always alive and knows nothing of death. Spirit, life force knows nothing. Life force didn't say, all right, this is the end for Merlin. No, it's just a continuation. My mom, the people that we've lost, the people that we have celebrated. And that's when you have to, and I was so happy because I thought, everyone keeps saying, you know, you get another cat and you'll get another cat. And I'm thinking, I don't want another cat right now. We have an empty nest. If you knew any of my past, you know there's been a few cats that have come and gone in our, they were feral cats named Feren cats, because there was a lot of them. But this is what I realized about emotions, that I own them. I went through every one of these little steps and I owned each one. I let myself wail when Rita was gone. I'm kidding. I would have done it there too. But here's the deal. I experienced it and I said, how nice it would be to go, oh, bring something else in fast, because then I won't have to feel that. Bring it in fast. Have you ever been there? You're going through something. Bring it in. Let's get the substitute. Oh, come on. Because if I stand, I was telling Rita, in the void, then it's scary and it's painful. And it takes your breath away. But it is so worth it to feel. It's worth every stage. Not too fond of the anger one, but that's okay. Because then I got into, here's a moment in the midst of this. I was kind of out of steps, of the stages that I was going through. And I go, I think I'm going to be mad at Merlin now. How dare you? We called it the Beverly Hill Kitty mansion, and you could have lived, and all of those cats were gone. You had the place to yourself. How dare you? And that didn't feel good for a while. So I want to read on. So I'm not kidding. The one thing you're going to learn about me is that I just tell it like it is with who I am. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's fun. But never, ever give up the stages of life, because they're worth every moment of it. Every moment that I have an opportunity to love is worth every moment that they're out of sight. It's worth every moment. Now, Friday we watched Bruce Almighty, which, to give you the real quickie on him, is that he didn't think that God was treating him exactly right, and he was positive he could do it better. Have you ever been there? It's like, it's basically the victim stage of, the reason my life isn't working is because of you and you and you and you and the big guy upstairs. So there's this wonderful quote from God. So here's the deal. It's set up with, he gets powers, and this is all of us, that's who we are. He gets the power to be able to do anything except take away your free will, as Rita was talking about. Has anybody ever seen Bruce Almighty? I'm sure there's older. But I love the tomato soup scene when he thinks, the Red Sea. See if I can do that. And he's like, and he's separating the bowl of soup. And all of a sudden the winds are blowing and he's separating. And this is what God says to him later. Parting your soup is not a miracle, Bruce. It's a magic trick. A single mom who is working 2 jobs and still finds time to take her son to soccer practice, that's a miracle. A teenager who says no to drugs and yes to education, that is a miracle. People want me to do everything for them. What they don't realize is that they have the power. You want to be a miracle? You want to see a miracle? Then be a miracle. Yeah. This philosophy, this beautiful, delicious philosophy that I have been honored to be a part of, and also to get the word out into the world about that the power that we have lies within us. And it is up to us. I cannot make you know that you have the power, but I can be an example of every time that I forget, for me to come back to principle. Or as a dear, wonderful reverend friend of ours, Doug LeBeau, he says, I'll be right back. I'm going to step off principle for a moment. And that's usually when he wants to gossip or talk about somebody. And he steps off and wow. And he goes, all right, let's get back to what we really know. And that's it. Parting soup, it's a magic trick. We're not here to come to this philosophy to go, oh, wow, watch me manifest this. We were loving it. It's been like a car dealer here for you. It's like everybody's going, I think I'll manifest a car. Oh, me too. It's like what? Cars, next it's dating services. We'll start that here. But everybody goes in for the gold, right? Like, I'm going to manifest. I'm not kidding. Class, they pulled up two of them in their car. Guess what? And I go, the abundance class gone wild. But that's because, and I loved what Michelle said, because people go, oh, that's so wonderful, like, poof. There's no poof. That was 3 years of not thinking you deserved a car of that magnitude. You don't mind, because I'm already in. I'm already diving in. But she said, it's like they would go, wow, look at you. Ooh. Yeah, but how about all the moments when you said, I'm worth this car that I'm embarrassed about driving up with? And there's other people that don't, so it's no level. But finally I said, well, that was what you're equal to now, kiddo. She said, no, that's not satisfactory. I know who I am. And it can be with anything. And this is the power that we're talking about that is so wonderful, so delicious is the only word I can use for this power. And I was thinking to myself, why don't we use it all the time? And this is how I will end so that you're really depressed. This is why we don't use our power, because if we used our power 100%, I always say, we may use it part-time, but God's full-time. We may use it part-time, but God doesn't say, okay, well, I'm not in the mood today. It's a power that continues to go. Why don't we use it? Because then I don't get to blame you. I have to give up all of that delicious blame that I can get into. And I got to give up for those who believe in an outside God. I have to let go of that too. God doesn't like me. Or God doesn't do this, or God. And you're thinking, well, that's kind of straight across the board. It is straight across the board. Because there's a spirit that moves and says, I don't know anything of anything but love and wonder and excitement and cars and feelings and all of that. Whew. Now you see, now I feel good. I feel celebrating. But I don't regret my tears. I don't regret my feelings. So I don't want to hear anyone, if you do, please say it behind my back. I do not want to hear anyone say that this philosophy sidesteps emotions, because it's an absolute lie. A lie. We don't go around them. We don't go, oh, there's anger. Tiptoe around it. We say, there's anger. Whew, let's go. Whew, penetrate it. Love it, and watch it dissipate. If anything's happening in your life, and I know there's things going on that you're going, how in the hell did this happen? I'm going to say, how in the heaven is it going to change? It is going to change. How in the heaven is it going to change? It's going to change the moment I say enough is enough. I am that I am, and I own it. Sometimes I try to get a little bit more excited about the things that I do. I know that you guys are used to my low-key thing, but what I want to say is that this is beautiful. What I want to say is whatever you feel about anyone today, whatever's in your heart, honor it, celebrate it, love it, and just land in it. And I am inviting each and every one of us, go deeper and deeper and deeper. I am complete. I love you. Namaste. Are you on?
Didn't sound like it. I've changed.
Yeah.
This is a song by Indy Ari, and it's called I Am Light, and I invite you to sing it with me. When you get the words, they're pretty easy. I am light, I am light,
I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I am not mistakes that I have made, or any other thing that brings me pain. I am not the pieces of the dreams I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. This soul inside, it's all light. I am 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 divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 We are light. We are light. I am light. We are light. Yay.
Perfect.
Woo. I love that
Perfect.
song. Thank you. That was perfect.